Really couldn't wait to get to this item, and it's because we have never in the history of HSN done anything like this before. If you've been shopping for a laptop and you said, you know what, I want the laptop. I want the one that does it all. I want the one that's the ultra light everything, and you've heard about it. If you want one that's performance, if you want one that truly is unparalleled experience, this is what we have, and we're launching it brand new today on HSN from Acer. We've all heard about these ultra guys, ultra light, ultra powerful, but not ultra affordable. Well, guess what? Now it is, and we've got a lot to get to. Just want to explain, I only have about 300 total. That's it. They saved it and had it and brought it in just for this show. In the show alone, not the whole day, not 3 hours, but just in this show alone, you can get this home for 5 flex pays, which is amazing for what you're about to see. So don't forget to order this one early, because truly we've never achieved what we've done today in this phenomenal, unbelievable ultra book. Now, Aaron Berger's here. He's going to walk you through everything about it. It's good to have you here, Aaron.
Thank you. It's good to thank you for having me in your host pick.
I honestly was so excited about this computer because everybody has been talking about the ultralights, the Air, you know, the whole thing about getting these sleek, beautiful laptops that truly perform so well. And now we are launching one at a fraction of the price of the ones that are out there.
And that's what's absolutely key, is that it's a fraction of the size, it's a fraction of the cost, it's the full power. Now, you might be thinking, what's he doing with an interdepartmental envelope?
You brought me a note from our boss?
Listen, I've got some bad news.
Live here on the air.
For your host pick.
Yeah.
Now, this is what we send around, a couple of pieces of paper, you know, here in HSN. This is what, that's out there. Now watch. I want you guys to see something. Here's the power button. Are you watching? You turn this on. You turn it, well, actually, I just turned it off. This goes on and off. Watch. I'm going to press this button. It takes 2 seconds or less for the computer to turn on and off. That was how fast it was. It's the i5. It is the upgraded. It is the highest. I've never done an i5 processor actually on any computer at HSN. The Core i3 is the highest I have done until today. So it's lighter weight. It's a smarter processor. It's a dual core processor. It runs 120% faster. You usually hear me say 70% faster because that's usually what a dual core will run. But because this is a dual core processor, and its Core i5, it has what are called hyper-threaded cores. So those cores can each basically think about things in 2 directions. And I've got to just show you again, because while you're thinking about this running twice as fast as the computer that you have at home, while you're thinking about it being probably 1/3 or less the weight and having 2 or 3 times as much battery life, I just want to point out, and I'll keep pointing this out, this is for those of us who want style on the go. I mean, it's a really important, yes, it is a powerhouse of a computer. I mean, when we get more into the memory and we get into the hard drive size, but understand it is less than ½ an inch thick. That again, when I open it up, and you'll see, when I open this up and turn it on, so I have it set right now to turn on automatically, less than 2 seconds. 2 seconds to get it on. Do you know how long it takes to connect to the internet once it's on? 4 seconds.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
this is a lightning fast
This was saved
experience.
specifically for my portion of host pick. It's the one that I picked, and I said, you know what? Everybody's talking about this kind of computer. Everybody is. This is the ultimate. If you do your shopping around, there's a very, very, very famous computer company. Not only does this just rival it, it beats it. I did my nosing around earlier, did some comparison shopping, just like you would too. If you are into getting not only ultra thin, ultra lightweight, ultra long battery life, you want performance that totally smokes your desktop sitting there, probably completely kicks your laptop that you currently have, or maybe you were just about to buy a laptop and it was going to be $900 and you said, oh, wait a minute, please look at the specs, look at what Aaron's doing, but don't wait on the decision of using the 5 Flex, because I'll tell you what, this beats the most famous ultralight and thin laptop at a fraction of the price. Nobody has the package we have.
The latest technology. There are very few times that you know you're buying at the beginning of the technology curve. This is brand new. This is, I mean, literally, you know, hot off the presses this week. This computer is just available starting this minute. You can't buy a fresher, newer technology than this. And to go through those specs for you again, and I'll talk more about the Intel Core i5 in just a minute. When those very lightweight, those sort of Air lightweight computers came out, I bought one. I was drawn in. I wanted to have one. I wanted to have the latest technology, and it was closer to $2,000. I mean, it was almost a $2,000 Core i5. Core i5 is an Intel processor. You You know the name Intel, right? You know that you're buying good stuff when you buy Intel. And we'll show you a little bit of video and stuff on the Intel processor right now. With the Core i5 processor, you're getting something called the Intel Turbo Boost technology, which means that it sends power when the computer needs power. So most computers sort of run at a constant, if you will. They're always using the same amount of power. This computer can detect when it needs more power and intelligently send that power in the correct way. And that's one of the ways that it preserves battery life. Another thing that it does, you might have heard me say earlier that this runs 120% faster. So that's more than double fast, more than twice quickly as a normal single-core processor computer. One of the ways it does that, it's called hyper-threading. It takes the dual cores that it has, because it is a dual-core computer, but it divides each of them again. So it begins to be what really would be considered virtually a quad-core computer. So it's almost like having 4 brains. And what you see here, think about having a pitcher that pours out of 2 spouts, or in this case, 4 spouts at the same time. It's going to be able to move through more information more quickly, right? Well, that's exactly what's going on here. And I can show you, I'm going to show you on my computer something that you wouldn't be able to see if this wasn't a hyper-threaded computer, okay? This is, it's called a CPU usage history. This shows which of your computer's brains are working and exactly how they're working. Normally, on a dual-core computer, all you would see is this and this. There would be 2 graphs. It would show you how one core was working and the other core was working. But since this is a since this is a dual-core computer that is virtually like having a quad-core computer because it's hyper-threaded, you see that there are 4. It's like having 4 brains thinking at the same time. What's interesting to me is that this says 10%, 11%. About 10% of this computer's brain is being used right now, and yet I have literally, let's see, I'll count how many programs I have running at the same time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 16 programs running at the same time. It's using 10% of the power of the brain of this computer. That's how good, that's how fast, and not just fast, but that's how intelligently the Core i5 is able to use and allocate the power. The Core i5 is and all those things. But when you get it home and when you open it, and first of all, when it comes on so fast, and then when you start to move on the computer, when you go to your favorite website, when you download a movie or whatever it is, the first thing you do, you go, my goodness, this really does move. Not only is it lighter weight, not only is it sleeker, not only do I love the aesthetic of it, but this is a blazingly fast computer. I think using is believing, and I think the fact that we have the extended return policy, particularly this time of year, really gives you the chance to use and believe, and I encourage you to do so. I encourage you to take action on this. I think it's a computer for those of us who want a better experience, a faster experience, a lighter experience, a longer battery, just a better overall computer usage experience.